You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Dahnans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Dahnans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Dahnans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dahna's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dahna's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dahna's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dahna's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dahna's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dahna's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dahna's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dahna's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Hefric 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dahna's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were thinking?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
Are you sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Shionne?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dahna? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Rena's Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrect 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Rena's Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Rena's Alma, but it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world, Renans and Dahnans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shionne. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shionne.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shionne,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dahna and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dahna.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dahna is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dahna, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dahna's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shionne and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dahna suffer the same fate. Ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shionne's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength. It's that it's sentient, too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shionne's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
What do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Dahnans started pressing their own.
Renans, Dahnans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different as someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day...
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
Hey, Alphen, what do you think of that chick over there?
Doesn't look like she really works out.
I'm not talking about her muscles, you dummy!
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No, I mean... Wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, while I've got you, what's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hootle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hootle!
Ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zoogles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dahna, let alone up in Lenegus.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zoogles originally used to be living creatures native to Dahna and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zoogles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zoogles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
I hear a voice. Somebody's asking for help.
Yes! Excuse me!
Hey! Really now?
What?
I see. Agreed.
Very nice.
Dohalim? The line of researchers is getting longer.
Perhaps I should have put more thought into this before accepting.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
I wonder if something happened.
Yeah!
Hey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah!
Just great.
I guess... Thanks.
Huh?
Well... All right.
All right.
I get...
Whew.
Got it.
I think Hoodle senses something.
What do you say we fight that shining enemy?
Hoo-hoo-hoo! Hoo-hoo-hoo!
What a wonderful treasure this is.
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it. Guess I misread the landing.
Is this the barrier that's keeping the Zoogle that Nath mentioned?
Looks like it. Our Zoogle pal should be on the other side.
This barrier is weird. It looks old and half-finished. Plus, he said it was okay to break.
I mean, we won't need it anymore once the Zoogle's gone, right? So what does it matter? Did they really think that barrier was enough for a Zoogle like that?
It was. That thing was sturdier than you give it credit for.
Really? So that's the Zoogle, huh? This should be a piece of cake.
Don't get careless, Law.
That thing looks like trouble.
Quite. I doubt we'd fare well against it.
I have a bad feeling about
Dance in
this.
the wind! Dance in the wind! If it hides, just back it out again! Air thrust! Air thrust! Mail thrust!
All fast in their defenses!
Glad you have your uses.
I'll show you how useful I can be!
I can do this all day! Burning strike! Glacial spear! Pierce evil! Freeze lancer! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Magic is there! Burning standing form! Blah blah blah! Water! Here burning strike! You get the gist. Burning strike! Burning strike! You get the gist. Leave the enemy's arc with me. Pierce evil.
No complaints here!
You get the gist. Burning. You get the gist. Burning strike! You get the gist. Burning strike! Blah blah blah. Burning strike! Freeze lancer! Magic is there! Burning strike! Blah blah blah. Pierce burning strike! Blah blah blah. Burning strike!
The flame inside me yearns to be set free!
Right out the door! Bring the protection! I'll heal you all! Seal! Fire! Blah blah blah. Burning strike!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Let's keep up the pressure! I'll heal you all! You get the gist! Burning
I'm ready to go.
Bring you apart.
Thanks, Shionne.
Now you see what I can do.
Force field! Piercy!
Appreciate the help.
The flames will roar! Don't mind if I do! Burning strike! You get the gist! 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 Burning strike! There! And again! Blah blah blah! Burning strike! I'm out of ammo! Blah blah blah! Burning strike! Too much to handle? Back into the
Take this!
Annihilate! The flames will roar! Burning strike! Magic is bam! Burning strike! You get the gist. Got it! Now's our chance!
Nothing gets by me.
Not today!
Burning strike!
Now you see what I can do!
Right!
Can't get out of this!
By the power of flame! Not in your dreams! Without a trace! Burning strike! Blah blah blah! Burning strike! You get the gist! Burning strike! You get the gist! Burning strike! Amazing! You get the gist! Burning strike! Alright! It's showtime! The flames will roar! Burning strike! The magic is in! In here! Fire! Blah blah blah! Burning strike!
This one's mine.
It's go time!
Burning strike! Blah blah blah! Burning
I
strike!
can carve through armor!
Here I come. Dragon
Sleep now! Fire! Here goes! You get the gist! Burning strike! Blah blah blah! Burning strike! Blah blah blah! Burning! Not on my watch!
rending you apart. Rising thunder.
Bloody howling!
The magic is there! Burning strike! Blah blah blah! Do it! Law! Demon's descent!
Flashing fang!
Blah blah blah! Magic! In here! Fire! Blah blah blah! Field!
It's go time!
Fire!
It's gonna attack.
Right, watch out! You get the gist! Burning strike! You arch the fire, complete it open!
Rising thunder.
The flames will roar! Burning! I'm sorry.
Couldn't make it in time.
Save you!
I'm only getting back in
In a bind?
I'm not done.
I'll bring you back.
Severing wind.
Elusive deity!
Rising phoenix.
I still got some life left in me. Searing flame! Reload! This can't be happening.
I've been hit with something.
Field!
Even a masochist has his limits.
Not feeling so great.
You get the gist. Burning strike! You get the gist. Reload!
It's in your hands now.
Burning strike! Burning strike! Blah blah blah! Burning strike!
Double demon fang. Burn in hell.
I can't heal you forever.
Ready and
Will
ready!
this help?
No rest.
Double demon
Just
fang.
with the doctor healing circle.
I owe you one.
Field!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Right!
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Fire! Explosion! You get the gist. Burning strike! Burning strike!
It's wide open!
It won't escape me!
The flames will roar! Burning strike! Magic is there! Burning strike! You get the gist.
That
The
move.
enemy is going all out!
Here comes the big one! I'm right behind you!
Take care of Poodle.
Pay for that! Rising Wyvern! It's on!
Begin!
Attack on the Dragon Swarm!
That's gonna smart you. Let me help. First aid!
Eat dirt!
Back in the flames will roar! Here I go! Seal!
Double demon fist!
Fire! You get the gist. Here!
Can't move!
Fire!
This shall not
Let me free you of your power. Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! The magic is there! Burning strike! Shooting star!
Soaring crash!
Here!
Save you!
The flames will roar!
Leave the chargers to me! Soul with life!
Burning strike! You get the gist. Burning strike! Oh, sparkling stars of light! Rain down and pierce!
Another incantation ruined!
You get the gist. Burning strike! Blah, blah, blah. Burning strike!
Can't get out of this!
It's go time!
From beyond!
Imbue this vanquished soul with
The
life!
flames will roar! The magic is here goes! Blah, blah, blah. It's
Watch
about
yourself.
to strike!
I sense incredible
Look
power!
sharp, everyone!
Blah, blah, blah.
Double demon fist!
Here, let me help.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
The flames will roar! Sleep now. In the sky is
Resonate
mine.
with the earth!
I'm
Stalagmite!
sorry.
You picked the wrong fight!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Slide! Ready and ready! Masterful death!
Blending strike!
Can't move!
The flames will roar! Burning strike! Blah, 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 magic! Burning strike! You get the gist! Burning strike! You get the gist! Burning strike! Better!
Behold! The Earth pulse! Tectonic vision!
The flames will roar! Burning strike! The magic is there! Burning strike! Blah, blah, blah! Burning strike! Blah, blah, blah! Burning strike! Look sharp! Blah, blah, blah!
Now you see what I can do! Ready to go!
One final push!
Let's finish They're
this
not
off.
playing around!
I'll do my best not to disappoint.
The flames will roar! Burning strike! Close one! Close one! Shield and masterful flame of fury! Burning strike! Take care of
Rending you up!
by the polar flame!
Look sharp!
Inferno crossing!
Masterful death!
Burning strike!
It's go time!
The flames will roar!
I'll crush you! Bloody
Blah, 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 magic! Burning strike! Oh, sparkling stars of light! Rain down and purify all! Meteor storm! You get the gist! Burning strike! Alright, let me out! Healing circle!
Shattering the pieces!
Thank you for all your help.
Please, don't mention it.
I'm glad to know someone's got my back.
Burning strike! The flames will roar! Art expert coming through! Burning strike! Blah, blah, blah! Burning strike!
So now you're getting serious?
You get the gist. Divine
Their arts were interrupted!
Close one! The flames will roar! The Magic is in! Not in your dreams! You get the gist! Burning Whirl! Ow! Close one! Tiger Blade!
Take that!
The flames will roar! Close one! Sometimes the best medicine is the toughest to swallow, too. Healing Circle!
Demon Lash!
I won't give up! Blah blah blah! Magic! Burning Strike! Blah blah blah! Burning Strike! Blah blah blah! Burning Strike! You get the gist! Burning Strike!
Let's put you out of your misery! Armor won't save you!
What was I thinking? You get the Burning Strike! It's over! Searing Flame! Close one! Burning Strike! Blah blah blah! Burning Strike! You get the gist! Burning Strike! You get the gist! Burning Strike! Burning Strike! The flames will roar! The magic is in! Burning Strike! You get the gist!
What's all mine?
Need to pull my
You picked the wrong fight!
Flame of Fury! Burning Strike!
No further.
I'm only getting started. Take care of Poodle. There, go. Yes, Mom. I'm
Going in! Igneous discharge! I'll smash you!
I still got the
Blaze on
fire.
fire!
Reload. Burning Strike. The magic is in. Burning Strike. Blah blah blah. By the flame. Sorry.
Bloody
The flames will roar! Burning Strike! The magic is in!
Do it!
You get the
Ignite!
Burning Strike!
Far enough!
You get the gist!
Now you see what I can do! I'm ready!
Shionne, Astral Energy! Full throttle!
Huh? What's a letter doing in a place like this?
Hell if I know. I highly doubt that Zoogle was trying to guard it. Still, somebody must have left it for some... Law.
Huh? What's up?
Something up?
It's from my old man. My dear son, I wonder how things will be between us by the time you read this.
In any case, I first want to congratulate you on all that you've accomplished. Making it this far requires a strong body, fine technique, an unwavering spirit, and most of all, friends that you can count on. If you have all of that, then I, as your father, have nothing to worry about. Those things together will always keep you on the right path. That brings me to what I really wish to discuss with you. As with all of us, there will someday come a time when you'll be a grown man who can and must think and act for himself. Whether you'll live in a world where blood will no longer be spilled between Dahnans and Renans, or when that day arrives, nobody can say. But even if peace still eludes us then, you'll have to decide how to live in this world. Listen to others with an open heart, but don't be swept away by their words. Always live on your terms. One more thing. If I ever see you again, I hope to say this to you in person, but neither of us knows what tomorrow may bring. Know this. Whatever you think of me and what I've done, your mother and I love you very, very much.
And there's nothing in this whole world that will ever change that. Your father, Zephyr.
Zephyr.
I can't believe he's only telling me all this after he's gone. What am I supposed to do with this?
Zephyr once told me that living freely meant being your own master. I think he wanted to make sure you know how he felt one way or another. What you do with that knowledge is up to you.
But that still doesn't explain why his father left that letter for him here, of all places.
Don't forget, we were led to this place. We may well get some answers if we go back to the source of all this. I've used too much. No dawn shall break.
I don't think I'm going to be able to do any more healing for now.
Get lost!
Reflect on thy sins, like they might the flame. I've used too much.
Burning crush!
What is it, Hootle? You want to go back?
Animal intuition, perhaps? Is this the so-called legendary instrument?
Actually, I think it's one of the freight train parts that I was using for a sword.
I'm sure anything will be fine. We should take it.
We've reached our destination. Looks like we get to sleep with a roof.
Good. This came out just the way I hoped. Hey.
Hey. I guess... No way. Damn. Whew. All right. This is... Thanks.
You okay, Law? You seem kind of quiet.
I'm fine. Just feels a little weird returning home now that my dad's not here, I guess. Oh man, sorry. I didn't mean to bum you out too.
So I guess that means you'll be visiting your dad's grave while you're here. Right, Law?
His grave? What are you, nuts? There is no grave. The Rena would only destroy it the moment they found it.
Back before Calaglia was liberated, dead slaves would be dumped in mass burial sites. Either that or thrown on top of a bonfire. We got used to cremating our own to deny them the pleasure. Then we'd sprinkle the ashes from high up as a way of returning them to the motherland.
It's all we could do. That's the ceremony we had when my mom died, too.
But that was back then, right? Calaglia is liberated now. There's nothing to stop you from raising a true grave anymore.
I suppose you've got a point. Once you've been doing something for generations, though, it sort of begins to take root. It's a tradition of its own now.
My dad wouldn't want that anyway. Cheap and simple, he'd say. Besides, I can't treat him differently than my mom. They might not end up meeting on the other side.
I hadn't thought of it like that. Wow, imagine. The two of them reunited, back home where they belong. They're probably watching over us right now, at one with great Dahna. There's something almost poetic about it.
That's why I can't afford to screw up. If I know my pops, something as paltry as death won't stop him from coming to box my ears. Still, better than being left alone, I guess. Better than never knowing. You hear that, Dad? I'll make you proud. You'll see.
Always good to be back in familiar territory.
Everything okay there, big guy? You look kinda pissed.
I'll say. He looks like he wants to bite the head off something.
What's eating at you? Come on, Alphen. You're gonna bring us all down if you keep that ferocious scowl on.
Oh, sorry. Do I really look that ticked off?
Yeah, it kinda makes you hard to talk to. So, what's bothering you?
It's a pebble.
A pebble?
Snuck its way into the back of my boot. I can't seem to get rid of it.
Oh, I totally get you. Weird how much it can get on your nerves, huh?
Yeah, it's barely bigger than a grain of sand. So how come it feels like I'm walking around on hot nails?
You know, maybe this is a crazy solution, but you could just take your boot off and give it a shake.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, of course. You're right. Phew. It's like I've been given a new lease on life. Thanks for the tip, Shionne.
Seemed kind of obvious, but you're welcome? That's the trouble with windy places. All that fine debris ends up getting into your hair and clothes.
Alphen, is it just me, or have you become extra sensitive ever since getting your sense of pain back?
Now that you mention it, the other night at camp, there was a fly buzzing around that annoyed him so much, he unsheathed the blazing sword.
So much for sensitive. That's just being a Mr. Cranky Pants.
Nothing new on that front, then.
What's the matter, Alphen? You look a little tense.
It's nothing, really.
He wants to get angry, but knows that doing so would only prove our point. Hence the building frustration showing plainly on his face.
Would you stop analyzing things for 1 minute?
Point taken.
I'm not so sure. How's this?
I see.
Great!
Huh?
Agreed.
Totally.
I can't believe you managed to shoo off that irritating bard.
Had we brought him along, it would have livened up our journey considerably.
You know, maybe you're right. We could have hit it off.
Yeah, and the two of you could be irritating together.
Yeah,
I see. Good.
Well...
Oh! Oh!
Oh!
Good.
Yeah.
I see.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Who? 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 Who?
Well... Those three seem to get along so well. Was it really right for them to separate?
It was his choice, and he ultimately chose the lady over his friend. I can only hope this helps her in her recovery.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
Who?
Huh?
Yes!
Huh?
Well...
So then, my thanks.
I still can't believe Deadeye was caring for these owls. Maybe he really was a nice guy once.
People are not born immutable. They change. And not always for the better.
This time it was for the better, though.
Indeed.
I hear a voice. Somebody's asking for help.
I guess.
All right.
Yeah. Did anyone notice Stefan acting a little strange?
I guess he was. Maybe the anxiety's getting to him.
Hey, she's pretty cute.
Who are you looking at? Quit gawking and let's go.
Ow!
Careful. That's no ordinary Zoogle. Get lost!
Dance in the wind! Air vibration!
Make it break!
Kitara, frozen!
Hammer!
Dance in the wind!
I didn't think you had it in you.
Focus. There'll be time to congratulate me later. Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Trapped in darkness, pierced by light.
I call it the Rindo Special.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
Oh! 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 Oh!
What a wonderful treasure this is.
Hey, Rinwell, tell me about your parents. What were they like?
They were kind. That's the part I like to remember. They could also be strict, though, especially when it came to magic. I never understood why I had to work so hard to learn magic. Why we couldn't just be done with it and live openly like everyone else. Needless to say, that didn't go over well. Of course, if I'd had known that one day I'd be doing this, I would have taken my studies more seriously. What about your parents?
Same deal. Run through the mill. Told constantly that training was the only way to survive in a world like this. It got bad enough that I ended up running away and siding with the Renans of all people. And now, I've got that training to thank for being alive.
I know how that feels.
The first time we met, you risked using your magic to stop me from kicking my dad's ass. You could have done anything else. You could have ignored it. So, why?
Yeah, I guess something about Zephyr reminded me of my own father.
You don't say. So, did your pops and mine look a lot like each other?
Not really. Not at all, in fact. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt a resemblance, I guess.
Wow. Well, I won't pretend I understand, but I'm glad. Your dad must have been a great guy.
He was.
Maybe it's the snow soaking up all the sound, but something about Cyslodia always feels mysterious to me. Solemn, almost.
When it comes to solemnity, I'd say our own Octalina Palace is no slouch.
I won't argue with you there. Still, that azure tint of the shadows on the silvery white snow, it has a certain indescribable quality.
Indeed. It was boorish of me to even suggest such a comparison.
All I know is it's freaking cold. Still, more pleasant now that the locals aren't quite as frosty towards us.
Well, excuse me if I'm too frosty for your warm self.
Oh, come on! You know I didn't mean you. Besides, really, I'm the one who...
How about we stop getting hung up on the past for a change? Take what you've learned and put it to use in the future instead.
An unexamined past can be just as dangerous in its own right.
Better that than obsessing over it like a certain someone I know.
Kisara doesn't mince her words, does she?
I could say the same thing about one or two of the other women around here.
Tell me about it.
I think I'll refrain from commenting on this one.
Hoodle, I've got some dried fish for you. You want some?
Forget that. Doesn't some tasty red meat sound better, boy?
Hey! Stop trying to coax him away with treats. Get your own adorable sidekick if you're so desperate for one.
He appears to enjoy being the center of attention.
Funny how things change. He and Rinwell used to be joined at the hip, or shoulder to talon.
It's not just Hoodle who's become more trusting. Isn't that so, Rinwell?
They do say pets and their owners act alike. I suppose since we've been together, I've done my share of coming out of my own shell too.
Well then, I guess with you and Hoodle, that makes us all one big happy family.
Sometimes when I'm deep in thought, Hoodle will come over and sit next to me. I only wish I could actually pet him.
Oh, you will someday. You won't believe how soft he is.
Wish I had that problem. I'm lucky if I can so much as look at old Featherbrain without him trying to claw me to ribbons.
Really? He seems tame enough around everyone else. Maybe it's just Hoodle's way of establishing dominance?
That's dogs, not owls.
What's going on when Hoodle pecks at you?
I don't know. Like when I'm talking to Rinwell, it's like he's trying to muscle me out or something. Unless... Wait, you don't suppose I make him jealous?
Come again?
Ow! Ah, get off of me, you insecure fluffball!
I rather think they make a good comedic pairing.
I see you've got your relics all lined up again. What are you doing? Huh? They're so bright now.
Oh, it's you two. I was merely tending to my collection.
Don't you think you've polished them enough by now?
You take better care of your relics than you do yourself.
I try to take good care of them. However, no matter how much work I put in, they refuse to respond.
I thought you could hear their voices somehow.
I can, but that's all I can do with them. I can't actually engage in conversation with them. Not yet.
What are they saying? Did they really want you to polish them that much?
You're right. I was so enraptured with them, I may have selfishly failed to consider their own wishes. I must open my mind and sincerely engage with them in earnest.
He never gets tired of his relics, does he?
Nope. It is interesting to look at them when they're all lined up together like this, though. Like how these two have similar designs. It makes me wonder if they were made in the same period.
An excellent observation. Yes, I too suspect they're somehow intimately related as well.
I don't see what you two are talking about at all.
What's this? Why, that smear wasn't there previously. Could it be responding to my voice at long last? It's rather viscous and has a distinct aroma to it.
Ugh, Hoodle! These relics are no place for you to do your business. Whew! I'm serious! These are priceless pieces of history!
Come on, Dohalim. Let's go wash your hands before you catch anything weird.
This shall be a feast for the senses.
Sure is good to be back in the pleasant climes of Menancia. Especially after the extremes of some of the other regions we visited.
Definitely. Your country is beautiful.
You do me an honor. However, this place was never mine to own.
I didn't mean it that way. Though, I guess technically you weren't born here either. Native or not, that doesn't change the feelings you had for the place. If I were you, I'd try to take a little pride in people's compliments.
Allow myself to feel pride, huh? That sounds like no easy task.
Nothing sounds easy when you overthink things the way you do. It must be exhausting.
He's always worrying about something. It's probably what gives him his eye for detail. That's just the way he is.
Yeah, so we'd noticed.
Let's change the subject, shall we? It's a wonder so many things coincided to bring us here. Alphen's awakening, Shionne's decision to revolt, the Dahnan uprising in Calaglia, the crown contest's final, sputtering throws.
Zephyr's being in the right place at the right time, the fact that you happened to be a lord just as this was all going on.
It's almost as if we were brought together by design. By someone who wanted to bring down the system.
No, enough Hand of Destiny talk. We did this on our own steam. It's our responsibility to see it through.
Did Law just utter a pearl of wisdom?
I do think about things, you know. Just what do you take me for exactly?
Honestly, I always sort of pegged you as a likable dolt.
What the hell makes me a dolt, you dolt?
I mean, she did say he was a likable dolt, didn't she?
Let's refrain from poking this particular Zoogle any further. Some lessons just can't be taught.
Not to dolts, anyway.
Hey, Kisara, what's your secret for putting up with Dohalim? I don't know how you managed to deal with him.
Secret? Oh, I don't think it's as difficult as all that, really.
Could have had me fooled. Anyone who waxes lyrical on the aesthetic qualities of cactus thorns is a step too far for me.
And those poetic flourishes he sneaks into regular conversation? How am I supposed to react?
He likes the sound of his own voice, that's for sure. I say let him have his fun. No need to try and understand anything he says.
Has he always been like that?
He didn't seem as on edge all the time back in Menancia. Though he was my superior back then. So who's to say what I didn't see?
The Lord of Cislodia hid in plain sight while a crony posing as him carried out all his business. What if the Lord we met in Vicente was really...
An imposter? Dohalim? Hardly. Like it or not, that's him all right. In all his flamboyant, circumloquacious glory.
I'd like to see someone try to impersonate that on a daily basis.
Come to think of it, what with being a lord and all, he's probably never had anyone to speak to on an equal basis.
It wouldn't surprise me. Having you guys around, having a family in a way, must be what's helped him change.
A little heads up on some of his eccentricities would have been nice.
It's those eccentricities that make him who he is.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
That treasure. What a sweet-sounding ring it has.
You really think so?
I think Hoodle senses something.
Hey, Law. Been training?
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away. You think this is bad, you should see the state of my underwear.
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
I meant in general, but... You sure mention her a lot, you know.
Huh? Oh, you know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of you is subconsciously always wishing she was there.
May the trials and tribulations of young romance never change.
Romance? Like I'd be interested in that know-it-all tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
You know, I used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys I have anything against. But come on, you've got to admit she can be a lot to handle.
Hey, I miss anything? What's all the fuss about?
Rinwell.
Thunderblade!
Ah! What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back.
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
It wouldn't be called the Spring of Youth without a little storm every now and then.
Hey, Shionne. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry, it's just... I don't know, I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess it's complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but... I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still alive. It's not too late, you know. And after all, who can say what the future holds? I think if I were you, I'd take things as they come for now.
Besides, touch isn't everything. I've never touched you, Shionne. But that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
You might just have a point. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alphen's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team, right?
Even after staying here, we never truly got to the bottom of what makes this realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Dahna are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's not to say it'll be easy, but it will be worthwhile.
These things take time to... What the... An ambush?
Sorry. There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
A bug? You mean like a Zoogle?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zoogle or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only natural insects would feel more at home here than Menancia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
Insects as a culinary option, you say? What kind of seasoning are we talking?
Dohalim, I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard!
I sense a strange power from this.
I never thought about this until now, Alphen, but doesn't it get hot wearing that armor all the time? You feel heat and cold again, don't you?
Admittedly, yeah. It can get pretty toasty in this thing.
Is it hard when your back starts to itch?
Oh, you bet. Plus, my shoulders get stiff wearing it, even if it's not all that heavy.
Kisara looks like she manages all right with her armor.
Armor takes a strong body and a stout heart.
Spoken like a true guardsman. Not that I really get what you mean.
The more I think about it, the more I realize what a pain it must be. Like, what do you do when you need to take a leak?
Ew!
That part can be a bit of a pain, yeah. More things to take off.
That sucks, man. Wouldn't it be easier if you just walked around outside of your armor most of the time instead?
You never know when the enemy might attack. As tempting as it might be to take it off, it's not worth getting killed over.
So basically, you're screwed if you ever get attacked while taking a dump. Right, Rinwell?
Are you doing this on purpose? Oh?
Right.
I wonder what we'll find out there this time.
Most likely Zoogles, I would reckon.
I mean, other than them.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster. Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Isn't that all Madria's?
So this is where her ship drifted.
Then the one who wrote the letter is...
Alive, but badly wounded. I doubt many of the others have survived.
Let's survey the area. That's no ordinary enemy I see over there.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Here I go!
They smite with black.
Everyone, get back!
I'll take
You're
out the
too
legs
dangerous!
with my shield.
Dance in the
Don't
wind!
worry, I've got plenty to go around.
Dance in the wind! I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar!
Resonate with the earth.
Going in.
Celestial Hammer! Razor Cyclone!
Soil. Awaken and reclaim.
I'm ready! Magic Kazam! Burning Strike! Here comes!
Barely a blip on our radar.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
This will be a delicious piece of cake! Air thrust! Searing flame! Reload! Celestial Hammer! I'm all done up! Razor Cyclone! Flaming Meteor! If they rush you, you gotta jump for cover, okay?
Stalagmite.
Air
Spirits
thrust!
within the soil.
Keep charging us.
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Go. I'll leave it to you.
I can't imagine what we'd do without you, Rinwell. I'm serious. You're a lifesaver. Seems about right to me.
A fish! You saw it too, right?
Everything looks fine with the lure. All right, let's do this.
Hey, what do you think about that spot?
Good idea. I'll go for that one.
shall ensure you survive this.
A wailing fusion lightning!
I shall seal you where you stand. With precision like that, I'm glad you're not on the other side.
Likewise for you and that shield.
Best to stay in one another.
Over so soon?
Dispose of the trash.
Air thrust! Go! Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
I shall provide assistance.
Air thrust! Without a trace! Oh, sparkling stars of light! Rain down in pure explosion! Meteor storm! Burning hurricane! Who wants to die next? How about this? Air thrust!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara! Air thrust!
Soaring
Explosion!
Looks like it could be worth something.
It's you.
Lord Dohalim?
I figured I'd find you here, Kelzelik.
You knew he'd be here?
The handwriting on the note was all too familiar to me.
Did you come all the way out here to mock me, or have you changed your mind about putting me to death?
What if I had?
You have no right. You who abandoned your lordly duties and chose to fraternize with embeddeds of all people! And for what? How could someone as powerful as yourself turn your back upon the crown contest?
Not this again.
I ran from this once, but I must face it now. The crown contest was never for me. I apologize for dragging you along, but I do not regret my choice in the slightest. Listen to me, Kelzelik. People change. They can change given time, and regardless of their race. I know you're a capable man. You could do so much for others if you were so inclined.
Me? Impossible. It's too late for me. Death. Death closes in on me wherever I go.
What?
That's Almetrius.
Is she alive too?
It's death!
Has this thing become... even more ruthless?
There's nothing more fearsome than a wounded beast.
Especially without its master.
Well, I'm not leaving it to its own devices.
A chain between heaven and earth. You get the gist. By the power of flame! Go for the weak point! Savior!
Negative hit! Burn! On the ground!
Explosion!
I'll smash you!
Benediction
Burning
alone.
Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Hear me! Blah, blah, blah! Air thrust! A chain between heaven and earth.
How do you like being pounded into shape?
Here I go! You're on! Searing flame! Reload! Take it!
Take care of
Back into the fray!
Poodle.
Here, let me...
Appreciate the help.
Charger blade! Inferno crossing! I'll bring you back from death. Not to pieces!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
Glacial leave the charge to me! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Magic is in! Blah blah blah! Air thrust! You get the gist! Air thrust! Blah blah blah! Blah blah blah! Air thrust! You get the gist! Divine savior! You get the gist! Maelstrom! Blah blah blah! Maelstrom!
Resonate with the earth.
Hurricane foot! Ready!
I can carve through armor.
Air! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Blah blah blah! Magic! Air thrust! A chain between heaven and earth! Blah blah blah! Divine savior! You get the gist! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Blah blah blah! Air thrust!
Take care of Poodle.
Begin.
Forgive me.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
Light up the dark! I'm ready to go! I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Resuscitation! Back into the fray!
Shield
That's
and
gonna
smite!
Dance in the wind!
Take care of Poodle.
Not today.
I'll
Smash you.
eat dirt! Lion power!
Not like this.
I'll heal you all!
That's gonna smart.
I'll bring you back from death's
Dance
abyss!
in the wind! Air thrust!
I'll bring you
Dance
back
in the
from
wind!
death's abyss!
Air thrust! Blah blah blah! Magic! Air thrust! Far beyond the darkest skies! I call upon thee! There! Shooting
I
star!
won't give up!
It's on.
You get the gist.
Burn.
Air thrust!
A new lease on
Blah blah blah! Air thrust! Blah blah blah! Air thrust!
Ready and raring.
Air thrust!
Smash you.
Blah blah blah! Air thrust! Art expert coming through!
Elusive deity. No dawn shall
Yes, that's yours! Close one!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free. Not today.
Burning strike! Water! Here I call! Spread! Air thrust! Air thrust! Blah blah blah! Magic! Air thrust! Far beyond the darkest skies! I call upon thee! Water! Here I call!
Elusive deity. Take this. Shattering the
Here's evil!
demon.
Freeze Lancer!
From beyond.
I'll heal
In
you
you
all.
this vanquished soul with
I
love.
let my guard down!
From beyond.
Here, let me
This
help!
vanquished soul with
First
love.
aid.
Resuscitation.
That's gonna smart.
I don't even know the word defeat.
Dance in the
This one's mine.
air thrust! Dance in the air thrust! Magic is in! Air thrust! Blah blah blah! Air thrust!
No further.
Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Take this.
Air
I can carve through armor.
Air thrust! A chain between heaven and earth. Blah blah blah. Divine savior! This one's mine!
It's on! This one's mine!
Spread! Glacial spear! Air thrust! Here's the dance in the wind! Air thrust! Magic is am! Water! Air thrust! Spread! Glacial spear! Blah blah blah! Air thrust! You get the gist! Air thrust! Barbie! Blah blah blah! Shooting star! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
I'll smash you!
Air thrust!
Do it!
Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Magic is am! Blah, now's our chance! Blah, blah, blah! Air thrust! You get the gist! Air thrust! Blah, blah, blah! Burning strike!
A thrilling performance. Burn in hell! Masterful dash!
Thank you for all your help.
Please, don't mention it.
I'm glad to know someone's got my back.
Blah, blah, blah! Air thrust! A chain between heaven and earth. You get the gist. Divine savior! You get the gist. Air thrust!
I can carve through armor!
Air thrust! Blah, blah, blah! Air thrust! I'm sorry.
It's on! How about you picked the wrong fight!
Hurricane That's gonna smart. Better! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Magic is am! Air thrust! You get the gist. Air thrust! You get the gist. Air thrust! I'm sorry.
Look sharp! I'll smash you!
Inferno
It's
crossing!
on!
How about this? They've got us cornered.
We're not finished quite yet.
You're right. We can still turn this around.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Burn!
I still got some. They're not playing around. Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Magic is am! Air thrust! You get the gist. I'm sorry.
Hurricane Slice!
I'll bring you
Going
back
in.
from death's abyss.
Huh. On guard. This one's mine.
I've still got some fight left in me.
Look sharp. Mighty left.
Ready and rare!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Blah, 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 magic! You get the gist. Air thrust! You get the gist. Air thrust! You get the gist. Air thrust! You get the gist. Divine savior!
Burn in hell!
Divine savior! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Magic is am! Take care of Poodle.
Aw, too shy to come over.
I can carve through armor! It's on!
Hurricane Slice! On guard. Hurricane ready to go. This one's mine. Lunar Arc.
That's gonna
Their
smart.
arcs were interrupted.
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Magic is that one's mine! Air thrust! Blah, blah, blah! Air thrust! You get the gist.
It's on! Burn in hell!
Blah, blah, blah! Divine savior! Blah.
Ready and raring!
Air thrust!
I can carve through armor!
thrust! Oh, sparkling stars of light, rain down and purify all! Meteor storm!
It's on!
Dance in the wind!
From beyond!
Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Magic is am! Air thrust! A chain between heaven and earth. Blah, blah, blah. Divine savior!
It's go time!
You get the gist. Air thrust!
Now you see what I can do!
Air thrust! Blah, blah, blah. Air thrust! Take care of Poodle.
This one's all mine! You
let me!
Fight!
I've still got some fight left in me. Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Magic is am! Air thrust! A chain between heaven and earth. You get the gist. Divine savior!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Air thrust! Dance!
Off in the wind!
Hold on to your arm. Here I come! Air... You get the gist. Air thrust! Far beyond the... You get the gist. Shooting star! Close one! You get the gist. Air thrust! Blah, blah, blah. Air thrust! You get the gist. Air thrust! Shooting star! By the power of flame! Vanish blah, blah, blah. Air thrust! Blah, blah, blah. Air thrust!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malika!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
I can carve through armor!
Air thrust! Blah, blah, blah. Magic! Air thrust! A chain between heaven and earth. Blah, blah, blah. Divine savior! Far beyond the... You get the gist. Shooting star! Here's evil! You get the gist. Divine... Here's a healing arc! Air thrust! Aid! Appreciate the help. Blah, blah, blah. Enemies immobilized. You get the gist. Air thrust! You get the gist. Shooting star! Glacial spear. Blah, blah, blah.
Anything in armor is all mine! I'll smash you!
Divine savior! Blah, blah, blah. Air, they're not playing around.
Bathed in blood.
Rending you!
Dance in the wind!
From
Air
beyond,
thrust!
imbue
Dance
this
in the
vent
wind!
you require.
Air thrust! Magic is am! Air thrust! You get the gist. Air thrust!
This one's all mine!
I let my guard down.
Blah, blah, blah. Air thrust!
Spirits within the soil. Awaken and wreak havoc! Masterful
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
It's go time! Heal!
Ignite!
Divine savior!
Now you see what I can do!
Air thrust! Air thrust! Barbie! Blah, blah, blah. Shooting star! Blah, blah, blah. Air thrust! Glacial spear. You get the gist. Where are you going? Air thrust! You get the... I'm... Sorry.
In a bind?
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with life.
I still got some fight left in me.
Spirits within the soil. Awaken and
Dance
wreak
in the wind! Dance in the wind!
It's go
Masterful
time!
dash on your
Air
knees.
thrust!
This one's mine!
Blah, blah, blah. Do it!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
There.
Would you come with us? we can take you someplace safe.
To where? Where could I possibly be safe from that?
What are you talking about? We already took care of the monster.
No! Death is immortal by its very nature. Even now it haunts me. It hounds me. The Silver Death curses me incessantly with its many faces, many voices. Don't follow me. Leave me be. Leave me alone!
What's happened to him?
Whatever it is, it seems we have read the situation wrong.
He spoke of a silver death. Do you think he could be referring to the people back in Vicente that he hollowed?
He did so at Almeidria's urging. I'm sure that somewhere deep down, he felt guilt and remorse for what he did. It was easy to blame it all on Almeidria while she was alive. But now that she's gone, he has no one left but himself to blame for his own misdeeds. He's alone with his guilt on this island.
But it sounds like he lacked the mental fortitude to endure it.
Makes sense. Sounds like just desserts to me.
Almeidria's monsters had nothing to do with it then.
So he was a Renan, yet he regretted his part in the Dahnan's persecution. And now he's beyond help.
Should we really just wash our hands of him, though?
To be honest, it seems like he's punished himself far more than any punishment we could hope to mete out. Dohalim.
If I hadn't met all of you, No, even after that. If I hadn't accompanied you on this journey, it's entirely possible that might have been me.
But you did. You're here with us now. And you didn't stumble upon redemption, Dohalim. This is the path you chose for yourself.
Yes, I suppose it is.
I think Hoodle senses something.
I feel sprightlier than before.
There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him.
Phew, what a rush.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Did we really just spend that much money?
This is such a beautiful island.
Yet it's just as full of Zoogles as everywhere else on Dahna.
The fact there appears suggests people must have come here in the past, though.
The reason they're gone is simple. The Renans put all of the Dahnans to work on the crown contest after they conquered the planet.
So there would have been nobody left to enjoy the view here after the Great Conquest. Once this whole thing is over, we'll have to all come back here together so we can appreciate it. Did I say something weird?
No, I was just impressed you came up with such a good idea for once.
Shionne, could we talk a moment?
I thought you had something to talk about. I was waiting on you.
Not really. Why? Should I leave you alone when I don't?
No, it's fine.
We used to really have to force these conversations when we started talking to each other, didn't we?
To say the least. Hey,
What is it?
do you think you'd like to make something together?
Make what exactly?
Just if you wanna make dinner together. What did you think I meant?
Huh? Dinner? Dinner! Yes! Yes, of course! Dinner! Right.
What did you think I was talking about?
No, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Anyway, what did you have in mind?
Well, do you recognize these ingredients?
This is... Wait, is this?
So you remember? That's right. We're going to fix the very first meal we ever had together. Although I remember it not being well received when we had it.
You still remember that, huh? I'm sorry, Shionne.
I'm just teasing you, Alphen. I picked this recipe because it's easy to make, and I thought it would be a good choice for dinner, too. Anyway, let's get to work. With both of us making it, we should be finished in no time.
I never thought we'd end up eating alone like this again. Just the two of us.
Yeah. So much has changed when you look back on it. Well, I guess maybe not what we're eating, but still.
No, I'd say even that's changed too, in a sense. Our meals are a whole lot better now.
True. We've both come quite a long way in the culinary arts.
That's not exactly what I mean. How do I put it? It feels like eating together is a lot more enjoyable than it used to be.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Even after our battles are done, when Dahna is saved and our mission is finished, we'll probably still be sitting down to dinner like this, night after night.
Yep, I doubt that much will change. You've always got to eat at some point.
I hope our dinners will always feel like this.
Maybe not exactly like this. Hopefully we won't still be camping out.
Oh, no, not at all. I meant in a nice, warm house. One with a roof over our heads and a proper fireplace, instead of an open campfire.
And real chairs instead of these logs. Nice plates and silverware on a big dining table. Oh, and a proper kitchen. That'd be nice too.
And when it's time to fix dinner, we'll be in that kitchen.
Standing side by side.
Whoops. Looks like we made too much. I don't think we'll be able to finish all this.
Yeah, you're right. I'll see if anybody else is still awake. I'd really hate to have to throw it away.
Side by side, huh?
Sorry if I'm a bit restless during the night. Did you get enough sleep?
This is where the light fell? What's with this tower? Is it a Dahnan relic?
No idea. But the astral energy is getting stronger here. The light's definitely in this area. Even if it is an agent from Lenegus, I'll blow them away with my astral arts. Go no further! Take down! You're all art expert coming through!
Spirits within the
Air
soil.
thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Chain between heaven and earth! Freeze laser! A wailing banshee of light! By the power of flames! Finish without a blah, blah, blah! That's air thrust! Air thrust! Frozen! Take that! Don't mind if I do!
I'm ready!
Air thrust!
We managed to pull through.
Is someone being attacked?
We have to save them! I won't let them get hurt! I've got a really bad feeling about this! Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
You made me angry.
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Air thrust! A chain between heaven and earth!
Airborne scout.
A wailing...
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare the Malisa!
Here's a dance in the wind! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Here's the evil! A chain between heaven and earth! A wailing banshee of light! Magic is in! Burning strike!
Masterful death!
You get
Anything in armor is all mine!
Burning strike! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Magic is in! Burning strike! Oh, sparkling stars of light! Rain down and purify all! Here's evil!
Masterful death!
Meteor soar far beyond the darkest sky! I call upon thee! Here's evil! Shooting star! You get the gist! Burning strike!
Can you take it?
I'm on a roll! Hurricane our power is complete! Going in! The flames will roar!
Air pressure! Hurricane!
Blah blah blah! Arch seal!
Bloody howling! Crap!
Well...
Why you? Why you?
I guess...
Yeah.
Damn.
Let's see what you've got.
Don't worry, I've got plenty to go around.
Air thrust! I owe you, Shionne. Healing is what my arts do best. All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
Here I go! You're mine!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Oh yeah! And pummeling to me! Here I go! Come on! Down from the wind!
All disasters made one! Come forth, a healer's fury! Maelstrom! Explosion!
Benediction to light.
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Magic is in! Air thrust! You get the gist! Air thrust!
Now you see what I can do! I'm ready!
Air thrust! You get the gist! Air thrust! Graviton field!
Air pressure!
You get the gist! Air thrust!
Glacial spear! Bloody howling!
Freeze lancer!
Barely a blip on our radar.
You guys want to rest here?